It's like we are hamsters on a wheel. Then we get off the wheel and we think we are free, but we are really seeing through walls made of glass, still holding us inside of this world. I love you, brother. Please reach out if you need clarity or have it. Do not state names in your comments and be kind. Watch to the end for a lovely montage and a death certificate burning. Yes.
How do you fight something like this?
Hi everybody. Since the ashes, things have gotten just more complicated, and this has been the case with everything, with people who have taken over since my brother died. It feels as if he had disappeared from us and was taken from us, and then his social media was disappearing. Even when I did the video on November 14th, more of that was happening within a couple of days and continued. And there were my own things that I was also working on. Just make sure everything was on the up and up with my brother's estate. Things that I've been working on for months and sitting on and not coming out with. And I'm hearing all this really nasty stuff now that is coming from people who are the same people who were involved from the beginning that disrupted our lives. Your lives are being disrupted too, and you're being forced to take sides, or you're being forced to look at things that you didn't have to look at before, kind of like we are and have been since the first day. There's so much negativity, and it's hard to know what to believe. And so what you're going to see is a compilation, I think, of some different times I've been doing videos, and just was thinking to myself, does this even make any sense at all? The main one that I did after this, one from November 14th that I posted, I just woke up a mess because there was just so much on me with the aftermath of getting the ashes. I did the last video on the 14th, which was Thursday, and leading up to that, I reached out to 4 people regarding the ashes, and then that weekend, on the 15th, we went back home to Pennsylvania where we grew up, my brother and I, my husband, and to be with family and friends for my birthday. And so then there was an extension of, are we going to get them? And then finally, on the 16th in the afternoon, I got, a copy of the receipt and the tracking number that they were coming, and then by Monday they came. And I did a little bit of footage, after I found out, and I interspersed that a little bit from that weekend and after we got them.
We got the ashes.
Thank you to everyone again who has been supportive to us thus far. Please keep praying for everything to come to light as it should.
And I went to this place that sells memorial stones. I was looking at, just sort of options, and I was telling this girl the whole story. She was really nice, and I showed her a picture of the ashes that came. She goes, "Oh man, that was tampered with. That was tampered with." And I had that feeling when I opened it, but we've been trying to give the benefit just a little too much, and maybe we just have to deal with the fact that we're crushed, and then we're not going to get anything from these people.
I learned vendors include a bag and a zip tie to secure remains inside of urns. Our bag was not zip tied. Cremains were coming out of the bag inside of the urn and working out of the urn itself.
And there's a little thing on the back, a little sticky thing with the person's name and the date. And there's a little thing at the bottom about being respectful of somebody's cremains, to handle them with care. And it didn't really look like that too much. And I was freaked out.
Oh God, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I need to I don't know. Let's not think about it right now, but if that's his ashes, it's on my fingers right now because that was outside of the bag.
When I first got word that the ashes were coming, it was last weekend. I'd been with some other family. They were there when I got the word. And I'd seen a picture of it before, so I knew that was the urn at least. And so I was happy. I was very happy. I was very relieved. I went to the grave, my parents' grave, where I put some memorial stones there that with my brother's name on it and my sister as well.
The ashes will be here in a couple of days. My rocks down there and my flowers have already faded, but at least no one got the rocks. But that was our little memorial from right after he died. That's all we had.
I feel like cemeteries are important because they're not just places of dead people. They're pieces of history. They're pieces of genealogy that tell us that we were here and that we were alive and that we did mean something to someone. And on the way, I wanted to stop at our childhood home, and where my brother and I grew up and lived the majority of our life. And there were good memories there too, and interesting memories, but a lot of sad memories there. I drive past the place when I go home, most of the time, not always. And I wasn't expecting, especially after learning about the ashes, that I would just react the way that I did seeing the property again. And we walked the property. I was reminiscing. It had really gone downhill, and they had junk out front, and areas in the back were overgrown. Even an area that led to a woodsy area where there's a little creek that went through there, and we always played back there when we were kids. All our animals are buried back there. We had a number of dogs, my cat, my hamster. I remember my brother sitting with me.
This tree. Remember, I was like right here crying over Perkins dying. And Michael came up and he put his arm around me. Yeah. Over that little hamster.
His arm around me. And I still remember that. Well, we drove to where we were staying, and we just cried the whole time, and we didn't even know really why we were even crying. Obviously, I was saying goodbye, but we were like asking each other, why are you crying? You feel bad for them? Yeah, I feel bad for them. I didn't expect to feel sorry for these people that were giving these ashes up. Because my brother was their whole world. And even the people that are coming out and talking about this and that, and my brother's not here to really even say yay or nay. It's very dysfunctional. No, those people are turning their backs on him now. After they fought so hard to hold on to him and everything that he had. Almost felt like a moment I was taking something from them. Can you imagine that? After all they took from us. And people told me it's a sign that you have a heart. That was nice. That was nice to hear that. Next day, we blew bubbles.
But I hope when he passed that he knew that he was loved. That was the thing I struggled with the most. Is that he knew he was loved by us, you know.
I knew they were starting to delete some social media like Facebook and VOH News. But then I saw that the Instagram was deleted, and then I got really bad. And I started looking around some more and found more stuff that was either completely deleted, like his websites. It's hurtful. It's like they were disappearing him again. And then we got the ashes, and I couldn't even look in the box for a day. I'm like, what am I going to get myself into? What am I getting myself into now? And that's when we saw that they'd been tampered with.
It's just a lot. There was ashes coming out of the rim. There was ashes all around the bag. I dusted the gloves off outside just now. Would have been nice to not have ashes all over the place and us have to deal with any of it. We could have just looked in and saw everything was secure, and then that would have been the end of it.
And then what do? You put them down the drain? Wash it off your hands down the drain? I couldn't do that. Whatever was on my hands and stuff, I just put them outside. Wash them out. Wash my hands outside. Put them in some plants.
Michael's body was taken from us through an email to the county coroner, an appointment of agent emailed by an attorney and church member. No original document in person is required, although digital fraud is easier than traditional. We weren't allowed to see the paper as next of kin, but they allowed a resend of the docket for the attorney to add her notary stamp, and told me an FOIA request wouldn't be approved The state attorney general guided me 7 months later. I have the document now and it's public, but it was too late by then to contest losing Michael. Next of kin should have more rights and information.
Tuesday, May 14th, 2024, 46 minutes and 44 seconds.
EMS.
Okay, with the transfer address of 1157 Grand Village Boulevard.
Okay.
We planned to go to Michael's funeral and wanted to, but we discerned correctly not to go. Someone was kicked out of the celebration of life on live stream, and other harsh things family and friends saw. The day of the service, we were quote-unquote kicked out too, and other harsh things that were not seen. It was a helpless feeling. Ghosted at my own brother's online service. I was taking photos on the screen of Michael and turned the camera just so I could speak. It became my first video journal.
I think if my brother somehow could mediate in his own funeral, that he wouldn't have liked what happened to us and what's happening now.
After pleading for another service, they offered the ashes. It was a relief to have them for our memorial. But then it came down to having them sent from the crematorium or the leaders driving them from Texas to PA. Neither happened, and we were blamed for it and told the ashes might go in the ocean.
It appeared to me as if they just wanted to keep the ashes, and they were just making it difficult.
We were not told Michael would not be shown on live stream. Friends and family who watched were unhappy. We ended up seeing Michael on a video chat at a park and ride. The girl who facilitated told us to be respectful by not taking a picture or a video of.
And so, like as if, I don't know what I was going to show him to our family. We never got to see him. I mean, you know how many people were hurt that they couldn't see him? And, you know, no one ever called us in the 6 months to ever apologize to us.
I found out that that girl pushed for that video chat. Witnesses said it would not have happened, and I'm so grateful now. That day, nearly everyone was an enemy to me, but they were in a tough place without Michael. We offered faith in the leaders to hear us. Seeing brother in a casket on WhatsApp felt like a relief at first. Reality returned the next morning in spades. Michael would have wanted the best for us, but the power was the primary agent's by law. I woke up realizing how bad this was, and being fully aware and alive was sobering. That day I recorded my feelings again for friends. Never had I done a post like this before online. Here's a few seconds.
This is hard, people. There's no getting around it.
Brother.
I got a copy of the 911 call on July 31st to find some clarity and begged the police to confirm where Michael was before he died. Possible foul play was mentioned by the caller. The officer wouldn't. It was an agonizing month waiting for the final cause of death. Out of 3.5 months, there weren't enough journals to process, so I kept videotaping. Here's a couple of minutes out of many, many hours.
I'm having a hard afternoon because I got off the phone at the coroner's office again, and I learned that, you know, the cause of death is being delayed, and it's just is what it is, and I want answers now. And there's a lot of time put into a lot of different areas, and almost none of them are just grieving, and it hits me all of a sudden, and I feel like, you know, I just hit a wall. So this morning is another crash. Yesterday I was really energized. I have opportunities today, and I wake up and I'm like this because I feel like we lost him, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to him. I'm really trying to get past this, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Coroner's report came in, and it did explain things that were going on in his body, and that in and of itself, I mean, took about half the weight off of me. Now the other half, of course, the ashes are an issue that I don't know that ever will be resolved, and that hole left inside of us over that, and you know, like just the pure cruelty of that. And what's going to happen to those people down there that my brother cared about, that he would want me to care about? How do you fight something like this?
People were told there was no cause of death. I heard that from friends back home and outside of the United States. It caused confusion, which led to more fear. Everyone has a cause of death. It just needed to be finalized. The final autopsy is free through the Justice of the Peace. Call this number. The appointment of agent can be asked for in writing at this email. The primary agent could also bring closure as the legal rep of the remains, including specimens taken from Michael. People who followed Michael still fear foul play, and the agent could ask for special tests without a court order. The new sheriff is also reforming the police. He is a former ranger and a Christian conservative. Here's the number. Calls are confidential, and the incident report is also public information.
With the ashes, I got questions in my mind now. I just can't feel the relief that I had when I knew that they were coming. I talked to one more leader. How did he sign death documents after he preached for so many years that he's going to jump over the grave? How did that happen? Where did that happen? It's so hard, you guys. And all the mystique with the stuff, you know, only adds to the anxiety. If it was in Pennsylvania that we had the funeral, I mean, it would have been a lot cheaper. I'm sure down in Houston that couldn't have been cheap. And but also anybody would have traveled for my brother. We have a lot of elderly people who are sick, people who, you know, just, they weren't going to get on a plane and go down to Houston, you guys. I was so weak. Like, I knew. And through prayer, we got prayer. We counseled with people. They're like, don't go down. Don't. You'll get more damaged. And to think that I had to make that choice when I wanted to see him so bad. So goofy. And now my brother is like the bad guy. After all that effort, it's unreal. It's really unreal. It's gross. It's gross. In pursuit of the ashes, someone said that they heard that I was being difficult when my brother died. Oh my gosh.
Michael mainly visited home for funerals. He intervened in our eldest sister's death and led her memorial. Italians take funerals very seriously. He would have wanted everyone together, not expect his elders to fly to Texas. The leaders didn't mention his wishes for us, only them and all of these alleged talks that they had. We asked for a photo, locket, and extra video viewing for other family. It was up to the primary agent, and the window simply closed with no answers, not even a vial of ashes.
And then after that word was sent out, that was June 6th. You know, like my reputation as well, like, was put at risk. I saw things being blocked on Instagram. I felt like I was deprived of things that people were talking about after. And then when I did the video, the last video, it was so sweet to hear from some of you. And I'm like, wow, we would have loved to have that kind of sentiment, I guess, early on. I'm not saying that everyone's aware of what happened or was involved in what actually happened, but it was brutal. And when I collapsed at church, I don't know, it just did something to my head. I just felt like it's time now. This was bigger than me. I feel like I was able to kind of surrender. I'm speaking for myself, but I feel that it will reach people who are in extreme situations too, and even more so ones. Our brother meant the world to us, and we're not less of a family because we weren't spiritual family in the way that you define it.
Ashes don't come from a cremation. Bones are crushed afterwards to make the ash. I learned about this at a crematorium for animals. Our pet was dying and we had weeks to prepare. This indirectly caused me to deal with losing Michael and his ashes.
My 11-year-old little bunny is dying, even though I would really take care of him anyway because I love him. I'm just so dealing with my brother through this rabbit, and we never really got to say goodbye. And I really want to make sure that I take care of this rabbit and say goodbye properly, because in a way it's like I'm saying goodbye to my brother through this rabbit.
God's glory, nothing in the earth, no football game, no government, no war in the Middle East, nothing will compare to the glory of God that's getting ready to be released.
Jesus, why did you die for me? Why did you hang upon the tree and suffer there for me? Jesus, Jesus, what a mystery I'll never know. Just how much, my Lord, you really came to love me so. They beat him and they scorned him and they nailed him on the tree. The blood, I'm sure, was such an awful sight to see. They thorned him and they pierced him in the side. The suffering for one man to bear would be so hard to hide. Jesus, Jesus, why did you die for me? Why did you hang upon the tree and suffer there for me? Jesus, Jesus, what a mystery I'll never know. Just how much my Lord came to love me so. I saw a waterfall, I heard a robin sing, and in my happy heart I knew it was spring. Such joy that lives within, from being born again. He cleansed me from my sin. I'm so free within. I felt the breeze of life. I looked up to the trees, like his love so free. My life will be this joy he's given me. The world will come to know such life that lives within. I've been born again. What a day it is, in every kind of way, with everyone I know. My love will grow, this love he's given me, for everyone to see. Such joy that lives within. I've been born again. My head is in a spin. I wonder where I've been to know that such a thrill my heart could feel. What a day to be alive. Such joy that lives within.